Hello, all. Welcome back to Melanin Madam. Tonight, we're going to have our co host introduce herself, and then we will get started. And make sure you subscribe on your way in and join in the chat.
Hi everybody. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. I'm just mom. I keep on about to say Monday. Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Well,
I
for
still
those of us trying to make it till Friday, we want you to say Taco Tuesday. We don't want you to say Monday.
right. Shoot.
I'm trying to make it, child. Let's see. So for tonight, again, make sure that you join in the chat. This is not a podcast. You're talking like you're walking into our homes. We don't take criticism very well, but we do take compliments and constructive criticism, but we just don't really care about your negative opinions. This adult bullying got to stop. People have lost their minds. They be behind their keyboard typing with their singular tooth getting on my nerves. I can't. You got a singular tooth. Leave me alone. Okay, so for tonight, we have three topics, or three hot topics, and then a main topic. So we are going to start with the first one because this one, I laughed. Why do black people laugh at the wrong time, like at the wrong stuff? Like nothing was funny about that. So to be clear, and you tell me what you think. I didn't laugh that the man jumped over the thing at the lady. That wasn't funny. What was funny is the guy hitting in the suit like a girl. And then the one that was walking super slow in the gray suit to go up there. It's like, do y'all care about this lady? Because I would have had all of y'all fired.
That's what I said.
I would have had them fired. And then the sister, she's supposed to defend her brother. So let's take a look so you guys know what we're talking about. And then we can discuss it. Mental health is real, y'all. People need help. Let's see.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
I can see that my brother just felt betrayed at the time when he was pleading and saying that he was in a better place, which is different for us all to be in a better place. I mean, when we struggle from mental illness, it's a chemical imbalance. Just as most addicts have chemical imbalances out there, we want to stop using, we can't. It's something that we suffer from. I don't think sending him to prison is going to deter anybody who suffers from a mental illness. They need to be surrounded by healthcare professionals who can treat him and so that he gets the right treatment that he needs.
You already know I was gonna talk about this, but I still will. First of all. First of all, I wanted to know if he jumped on, like, did he really just jump that high and was able to go over that? Or did he jump on a table first and then leap? Like, how did he jump that high? Like, that was my first thing I wanted to know. Did he jump on something first, then over there? Or
In
was he,
front of the bench, is nothing there. It's a great deal of space between her
but I didn't know
bench,
if he jumped on his table. You know how they be at a
but it's
table.
so far.
He can, well, after he get out of jail, he needs to be in the Olympics.
Not
He
after
needs
you
to
get out of
be
jail.
he needs to be in the Olympics because he jumped really, really high. And then I feel like his sister, they should have just not said anything at all. Like mental health or whatever. Like I guess I need to watch another video when a lot of people were saying that judge was like saying messed up stuff to him, like egging him on or whatever. But I don't know. I didn't see that. All I just seen is him jumping like that. So I don't know. But the sister to say that it was mental health and all that stuff, and when people have problems, ain't nobody else jumping over to stuff like that. So that's why I really want to know what the judge was saying to him. But still, he has a special talent. He needs to be in the Olympics or something where he can put that to work. Put that to good use.
So Skrill said, if I'm the judge, everybody is getting slapped when we get to the back.
Girl,
And Cousin said, he said space and opportunities. So, my opinion, a couple of things. If it is indeed mental illness, and it has to be, right? Because who in their right
yeah.
mind, as a Black anything, not just a man, a Black anything, would jump with all of those people around that are supposed to be doing their job? That's first. You have to have a mental illness. Um, People are talking about the anger, but if you've been around people with mental illness, even kids, if they are not, um, if they are not trained the way that they should be trained or nurtured, just like any other badass kid, they will be bad, and their strength is just different. So imagine not getting your child help when they are younger because of pride, which it usually is, especially in our community.
Yeah.
I'm not putting that label on my kid. I'm not doing this. Well, guess what? This is what you did to your child, because once they hit grown, society don't give a damn what your whole backstory is. And we all know that a major problem in mental health is, even those that are taken care of from younger, is certain medications that people just stop taking for some reason, and it's usually the ones that are the worst. So let's put that aside and say, there's some responsibility due on the family's part. What I will say as well is the sister shouldn't have said nothing, twin. I'm with you, because you sound
You
ridiculous.
sound crazy just like him.
Yeah. Oh, he was trying to say that he changed and you didn't believe him. But you didn't change. Supposedly, and this I did not fact check yet, the reason why he's in there this time is because he assaulted his
It was somebody walking or
domestic
something.
partner. No, it was well, I don't know. They said his domestic partner with a bat.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's true. But they were saying he had a rap sheet that was super long too, and that he has assaulted people that was just like regularly walking and stuff. So they was like, if he did that to a judge, just think of what he'd do out on the streets. Like, he needs to be in jail.
So this is what I'm saying. It is mental illness.
Yeah.
However, if you don't take care of it as a child, the potential, the possibility that this is what will happen is greater than not. Many of the people we pass by on Skid Row and all of those places is because mental illness, right? So we're not going to act like it's not real, but two things can exist. You're still going to get your consequences. The sister, from my understanding, was also saying, like sometimes he don't take his medication, which we typically know it does happen. But when that happens, I don't care who you are, you're going to have the consequences. So should he be in a mental health
I think
facility?
so.
I think so as well. Yeah,
I don't
I do.
think, like, when people truly have mental issues, I don't think that jail is going to do anything for them. They need to be in a mental facility. Now, they probably should. I don't know if the sentence should be that long, like, oh, you're going to be in a mental facility for 10 years or 15 years. But they need to go to a mental facility first. I feel like putting them in jail is not going to do nothing, because when they get out, like, y'all didn't do nothing for their mental. Like,
Hey, I have a question. Do you know how some people get out and they have a long probation or parole, one of those? Maybe go to the mental health place and get him under control where he takes his medicine. Go, anybody, not just him, the people that are like this.
Or
Take their
if they put them
medicine.
in while they in jail too, they could be doing that. If they really want to put these people in jail, they could still have them too. They
In a
need to have,
different ward.
yeah, for people that's crazy. Like, they need to have.
Agreed. But look, maybe they could, when they get out, they're not fully out. Maybe they have to take all the steps just like somebody that's in jail on their own. They did these things. And then they have to come back and check. And you check to make sure that their medicine is in their system. So it keeps them accountable. You know what I mean? And then you
So
give
you
them.
can't blame it on that no more. You can't blame it on
Yeah. And then maybe having that accountability and that support will make them better. Now, if not, that's going to be your last chance or whatever, however they do it, but make it look like they make the rest of the system or consequences look, but with the caveat that there is a medical thing. Yes, I do remember that Harley jumped on you mid-air, and I remember telling you then that I think that electronics caused her mental health issues. Yep,
No,
same thing I told Ro.
you know how I feel about those
Same
tablets.
thing I
So,
told Ro. We tell the
yeah.
truth up over here. We don't just tell everybody else's business. We share our things to help people. Carly definitely has mental health issues. That's my goddaughter. She does. But just like anybody else, and that's why I reference it to a child, because just like any other child, when I walk in, Harley don't do that kind of stuff because she knows at this point, but it took her some time to get there and seeing that I'm not playing with you. If you do this, and here's the thing. You didn't even take the thing from her. I took it from her. Girl, I turned around and Harley was like, "Foosh." She was only one. Them electronics and all of that stuff.
Amir did that today. I had took his because at when he eats his dinner, he has to watch Spanish. So this is something that you do every day. So I was like, turn to Spanish, and he didn't turn. So I took the tablet from him, and he was like, "It's my tablet." I had to really catch myself because I was about to call him a nigga. And I was like, it's not your tablet, it's my tablet. I bought this.
You don't got no
job.
job.
Data plan for that. So whatever I tell you to watch, you can watch it, or you could just eat your dinner and look at your food.
Here's the thing. I think that it is some issue to that. So that's a perfect segue into the second one. So I'm going to replace one of these that I have because there is a more important one that I want to talk about and I forgot. And it is the girl in the UK, the teenager in the UK that was SA through a virtual video game.
Girl, you got the same stuff I was talking about. Okay, good. Wow, that's just so wild to me.
This is why kids don't belong on video games. This is why I don't even understand why it's a question if they should prosecute or anything like that. Do you know what kind of, we're talking about mental illness, right? And we're talking about people not doing what they should to treat it before it gets out of hand. Do you know what kind of special, kind of crazy you have to be to figure out how to simulate a gang SA in a virtual space? Do you know how sick you have to be?
But my thing is, that's why with that thing, I said I literally need to go to one of these little teenagers' house and put on one of them games to see how that actually happens. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, why didn't she just take it off her head? That's what I'm thinking. Like, why didn't she take it off her head? Why did you leave it on your head and go through that whole experience? But I still want to see how does that even work? Them able to do that and you're able to feel it or whatever they said. Like, I'm not into video games or nothing, so I really
know what it's like. When you go to like the IMAX theater and it's a 3D movie, so they can make it feel like the seat is moving and this and that. It's certain things they can simulate. But actually that feeling of SA, they didn't simulate that. They simulated the act of it. So like the basically the same way kids play Grand Theft Auto, and I don't think kids should be playing that either, because for a while it made kids believe that they could hurt somebody and that person could come back. They couldn't differentiate between reality and not reality. That's why I think it's just really important to watch what your kids are doing, because there's no way sorry, y'all, I'm getting over a cold. I still can't breathe. That just don't make sense to me either, that immediately when you saw something was coming to attack you or whatever, or I don't know, rip off clothes or whatever, why wouldn't you immediately just snatch the thing off of your head?
Yeah, I just don't understand. That's why I said before I really judge, I really need to play one of them games. But my first thing would to take it off. Like, why would I sit there and go through that whole thing? And now I'm saying that I need therapy and everything, but I sat there and watched or whatever the whole thing. Like I just don't know how to feel about this story because I need to put on one of them headsets, I guess. But it to me, my first thing would be is to take off the headset. Like I'm
Right.
not. Okay.
It's mental manipulation. To me, I even think the one about, that we covered last year due to a situation that I went through where so many kids were unaliving themselves because they were being manipulated through the video game. But
Oh yeah.
to me, that one is different because it was like, I can see your house. I can see where you are. I can come to you. Like it was a whole, what do you call it? When they get grooming period. And then it was things said to make the person feel scared. So like what is happening? They saying, don't take it off or we're going to knock on your door. Because the way it's written, if it's solely because that video game was on your head, that thing like this, you guys, I still don't understand why
Well,
no
I tell you,
logic
that's
made you
like
just
having a
take that
bad
off.
dream. Yeah, that's like having a bad dream and staying asleep.
Right.
You having a bad dream, you trying to it feel like crust be you got semen on your eyes. You doing that
You
to
could
your
feel
eyes.
yourself moving.
Yes,
You
you
could.
moving and everything, trying to wake up. Like it's no way I would
Mhm.
do that. But my
Mhm.
thing that I had a problem with this story is like you guys are going to you guys are looking into prosecuting the people behind it. Y'all don't even do that to real rape victims, but y'all gonna do it to a virtual one. Y'all that. Well, let me shut up
So
because I
to
don't
the
even know
women,
nobody. Look, I'm like I don't even know nobody come.
I'll
But
close it off and tell you exactly what she means. And then we'll pick up on this tomorrow on Talk to Rose. What she means by that is kind of what our topic is tonight. He made me do it, or she made me do it. There are certain things where we need to start drawing the line in the sand. And here's why we need to draw the line in the sand. Because one, we need to better protect and encourage environments of safety by putting logic into place, right? Because if we keep
right,
making excuses for these things and saying, well, no, this just should have never happened, and slavery shouldn't happen, and divorce shouldn't happen, and
right,
miscarriage shouldn't, all these things shouldn't happen. But since they do, what do we do so that we don't have to say, I wish somebody would, right? When do we take accountability? Okay. Because
mm-hmm.
I can tell you that it's not very many women that have been cheated on and can say, oh, I saw why. Oh, I get it now. I get why you cheated on me. But there are some real women like myself that can hear the story and be like, oh, I see exactly why you cheated. Okay, you ain't right for cheating, but I can still see where I
See,
did
why
something wrong.
you can see both. You can see the other
I can
side.
see both sides, right? The most important part is the protection part. The most important part is y'all could say this shit because you're a woman or me too and all it is, but you wait till your son is on the other side of that shit and he's trying to defend himself 20, 30 years later or something like that. Everybody thinks from the perspective of that man they could go out on a date with that could do this, but they don't think about it from the perspective of their niece that could be going to babysit somebody, their son that could take somebody on a date. And that's not what your child's character is, but because the accuser said it, then it's true. Because we didn't make sure that our kids knew when to leave a situation to protect themselves, to take a headset off. And not
Mm-hmm.
only take it off, I just don't think that with the rate of unaliving the way that it is, and trafficking, a lot of it is funneled through the video games. So why
Yep.
are you allowing them virtual access to all of the world when you wouldn't open your door to your home? Please explain that to me.
It just
So
yeah, that's what I'm
that's
saying.
what
It
he means.
makes sense. It don't make sense to me, but I
It
don't
does.
want people to feel
It's
like
not insensitive.
yeah, insensitive. I don't want people to be feeling like I'm insensitive, but it literally don't make sense to me. But that's why I said I would love to get one of those games just so I can
But
see.
I don't think that would help you getting the
Uh-oh.
game because you have to. I mean, you could get it so you can see what it looks
Just
like
so I
or
can see
whatever.
what it feels and all
Yeah.
that. My to be to take that mess off my head. I'm not about to keep.
So
That's just
because we were
you listening
trained.
to something and somebody you hearing some demonic stuff or something, and you just gonna
What do
keep
you do?
listening to
Change
it.
the station. Exactly. So I agree too, and I agree that again there needs to be We need to put it out there that a certain level of accountability,
Mhm.
and you are going to have to ask questions, and you don't get to blindly say somebody did this to you. You do have to show up on the stand. Your name needs to be out there too. This is the reason why I say that. Not so that you can hurt the person after they come out, but so that you could prevent it from getting to that place. Because if I know, if I go and something happens to me because I did some things too, and so I stand in that space and
Mhm.
I got to see it all the way through as well, then it will prevent me from being so damn laxed. It will
Right.
prevent me from thinking, oh, I did want to do it for 30 minutes, but not the last 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and sue this school district, and I'm gonna get all this money. I won't even think about the corrupt things that some people are thinking of, because I'm gonna know that my ass is gonna have to be on the stand too. And I'm gonna have to give details, because at some point it gotta stop. Um, Now, one more. So we're going to start playing more shows, because guess what? We want to know where these people are. We feel like we
Right.
have the right to know. It's not our business, but technically it is our business. And I just feel like looking at your business is better than looking at my business, because my business is, ooh, there's some real shit over here. And I don't be causing it, y'all. Okay, some of it I do, but I would say in the last 3 years, no. Yeah, I need to stop forgiving motherfuckers. Okay, never
For real.
mind. This is not about me.
That's my motto for a year. Motto.
It is, because that's what gets you in trouble, when you see that
Mhm.
red flag and you still be like, no, it's a good person. No, they'll be better.
Nope.
So
Nope.
let's look at this, and then y'all tell us what y'all would do. And then we'll get into the main topic for the last part of the show, which we've touched on throughout this show, because everything connected together. Ready, roll?
What have I done to you to make me put through the things I'm going through right now? What the hell was that, dude? And you went in the room and you start kissing me, you kissed that bitch? Really? Really?
You were asked if during your relationship with Erica, have you ever had sexual intercourse with another woman? You admitted to our lie detector administrator you've been with 4 women.
What? Really?
You were asked if during your relationship with Erica, have you ever had sexual intercourse with any of the women that sent text messages to your phone? You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie. You were asked, do you want to marry Erica? You said yes. The lie detector determined that was a lie. You were asked if during your relationship with Erica, have you ever had any sexual contact with her best friend, Stephanie? You said no. The lie detector test determined you are telling the truth. Stephanie. So she's come a long way, right?
Yes, she has, Maury.
All right. And you've been there for her.
Yes, I have, Maury.
And you're the godmother of her child.
Yes, we've been friends for 3 years. She had a little baby boy. I'm the godmother. I wouldn't do nothing like that.
So we're going to explain what happened yesterday.
Looks like you keep everything toned up, you know, shades up all night.
Yeah.
Get some little
Look, I'm all, you know, my.
So I have it ready. I have it ready to add the whole show. So not only is the ninja cheating, knowing you coming for a daggone test, but then they send what is it, like a decoy, a person into the green room to flirt with you or whatever, and you can't even maintain your composure on the show.
At the show that you know you on there to see if you cheating.
Have you not seen Maury before? Now this is real reality TV, baby, because this
Yeah,
stuff
I used
don't
to
be
love. Oh, I love Maury, whatever the hell his name was.
So
I just feel like,
how would you feel?
I feel like she's stupid. Period. Point blank. Like, it's nothing else I could say. She's
Oh,
stupid.
she's stupid. She gonna, if she found out, she gonna leave him. She leaving him.
Is she really leaving him?
That's what was the title at the first beginning. We need an update. We go together with each other now. We need to know your business, man.
Yeah, we need an update because girl, she didn't leave that man.
You see, the friend was like, I hope you do leave him, because you accusing your friend the whole time. I will wonder if, so this what happened. She was away. She used to be a stripper. He got her off the streets and made her a better person. She done went to school. They had a baby, all of this stuff. She went away one time and sent one of her friends over there to get some stuff. The friend claimed she walked in and he was walking out of the bathroom with boxers, and the best friend was in the bed naked. Couple things. Now that I just thought about this. If you was really my friend and you went over there and you saw that girl in my bed with my husband, or in my bed and my husband walking out like that, I would expect you to call me from there,
Right
and then
here.
you to jump on the girl. That's number one. I wonder if, number two, one of the girls that he has been cheating on, I wonder if it's the girl who started all of this and said it was the best friend.
Oh yeah.
They didn't say that on the show. So
But
I'm
if I
saying,
had that friend, I wouldn't even be her friend no more. Like, if you think
I
that I'm
would.
having sex with your baby daddy or something, we don't even need to be friends, because that means you don't even trust me. So if you don't trust me, we don't need to be friends.
You done made me the godmother of your child and everything, and you would treat
Well, that
me
was still too early. They only been friends for
3
3 years.
months. Yeah,
Oh, did she say 3 months? I thought she said 3 years.
3 years. I'm sorry, she said 3 years.
Still, that
That's
ain't
what I
long
meant.
enough for them to
No,
be in
it's
a
not long enough.
like, girl, y'all don't even
Not
need to
for
be.
grown adults. 3
Yeah,
years is
y'all
not
don't
long
even
enough.
need to be friends no more. Like, it wouldn't. We wouldn't even have to go to that show. I would have watched it on TV because I would have already told her, "Bitch, I'm done with your ass." But I'm gonna let you see. I'm gonna let you see that I did mess with your baby daddy. But I'm still
I
done
think
with your.
that's why she came.
So
But
you
it
could
was
just
so
like
sweet.
it.
Her friend was actually there for her. She didn't even focus more on the fact that she didn't even get up and do the whole why did you do this to me? Nothing like that. Like when they played the stuff back first, she ran off and did her whole Murray run and all of that. Um, the best friend followed her back there and was like, "It's okay, it's okay," and she was still being a friend. She just wanted to console her, and she was like, "It's okay, you could go out, we could do it. Just finish it," and being her friend. And then when she went back out there, she told the guy, "Why don't move out of my way so I could sit next to my friend?" She was still being a good friend to her because she knew what her friend was about to hear. So I think that was really sweet of her. But
Girl, she with
if
her friend.
that girl,
She would have just had to hear that and be crying because, bitch, you shouldn't have been accused of me. So now your feelings about to
Rome,
get
we used to be nice like that. We used to be super nice like that.
hurt.
I,
Yeah,
I,
but that's the old Rashonda. Now,
yeah,
bitch,
that's
now you
not
get
it.
now you about to get your feelings hurt really when you see what happened. It's to see that I was really your friend. So I'm about to console your ass.
And there you have it, folks. We're not consoling these hoes in 2024.
At all.
So let's see the last one, the last clip. We got to end with Kat. This also goes under the made me do it, the it's not enough, the I can't believe it. When you stand on morals, I have a question. I just really want to know because I don't think people realize how close slavery is to all of us. It wasn't that long ago. I wonder, like if you talk to some of your elders, some of them probably picked cotton, some of them was probably called that N word. Um, if you was a good kid, you probably went with your great aunt like me to clean the vanilla people's houses. I remember when you couldn't even go in Diamond Bar unless you was them. I remember going to clean houses in Diamond Bar. It's amazing how much it is so close. So my question is, right? No matter what color you are, if you are using logic and you feel like you are being underpaid or it is something that you need to walk away from and take a stance, or that he made me do it so that you can skip a couple steps and be ahead, you do know that I'm pretty sure Martin Luther King would rather be alive right now. I'm pretty sure that he didn't want to risk his life like that. I'm pretty sure Rosa Parks didn't want to, like they didn't be like, oh, I'm going to be on a poster one day. They took a stance. So I'm just wondering, how many people think about what we do today and the responsibility that sometimes we have to say no or to say yes to things that we don't want to do because it's the right thing to do. And what I mean by don't want to is because you're scared, you're lazy, you don't feel like it, you're tired. I wonder, do people feel that responsibility anymore, outside of a nonprofit, outside of a SOAR, outside of a fraternity? You have that responsibility in your day-to-day life. So let's listen to what Kat had to say, and then we'll share our experiences, and I'll end with a decision that Q, which is 𝒀𝒐𝒏𝒆𝒅, just made, and it proves the point of what saying no can do when you bet on yourself. So here we go.
I don't know if you saw this, but Taraji P. Henson got extremely emotional the other day. She was giving an interview.
Yes.
And saying that they're vastly underpaid and say the math is not mathing. Where do you come down on that, Kat?
It was the saddest thing ever, because imagine being in your genre, in your sub-niche, whatever it is. Imagine being in your lane. Imagine being one of the very top of your lane. That to the point where if they don't take you for the role, there's not 3 black actresses that they can say are bigger than you that we're going to give this to. Imagine you being at that point and have to humble yourself and say, they're not paying me, y'all. And they not making my pay go up because I'm doing better or nothing. It don't matter to them that I'm famous and people know me or nothing. They want to pay me exactly what they paying the new girl. And I've been suffering under it for a decade now and just taking it. I just been getting whooped. But I just got to come say, this is wrong. We should be ashamed. But this is a country where we don't pay the teachers, and then we say the kids is the most important thing. You can't have both of them. If you do that, we're going to end up with a generation that can't read. Guess what? Generation Z and A can't read. Why? Because who was giving them a book? We gave them an iPad or a phone, and now the letters don't mean there's no cursive writing.
Right.
Sorry about that. So yeah, this is what period of time it's in. It's the period where the victims get to say, they've been hurting me for a long time. And I just ain't said nothing because I was trying to be strong and I didn't want to shame anybody. When our people call out for help, we got to understand. You know what I mean? Like we put too much pressure on Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? He ain't put nobody on. The people that been in his productions, they not famous. All of them can walk through the mall without security.
So I'll start with the top 3 things that I put in the post, and then I'll allow you to answer first, and then I'll answer. So my first bullet point was, when you're talking about pay or equality or things like that, when you compare, you want to compare to likenesses, right? Every meme that I've seen thus far has compared like a Taraji to like a Marilyn Street, or somebody that is Caucasian on a different movie in a different set that's a series. That's like comparing her to Susan Lucci to me. When you compare, you guys, we get a lot of the anger that we have is because we don't process things right. If you're going to compare the person sitting next to you in that same space. Otherwise, it's not a likeness, and you cannot compare across. That makes no sense for you to compare what you get paid at a corner store for being a cashier versus what you will get paid in your big, pretty corporate office downtown LA. That cashier gets paid different than that cashier. They're not the same. So when you compare, at least compare likeness. And that was what the first bullet point was. So what is your feedback with being overly angry because of some of the stuff we take in and try to compare it to make it right?
I could say like, oh, okay, I'll go with the Taraji thing. Because I'll go with how they tried to even put her when they asked 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 said that she didn't go through that. She didn't go through that. So it's like, I don't know. That one is kind of hard.
Okay, can I give you an example? Because I know one that you've shared. And I'm gonna give you when your employees try to tell you they should make what you make.
Okay, yeah, good. Because I was about to go into them. Okay, so in my personal life, I do registry nursing. So a lot of the other nurses, it's not all of them, but a majority of them will feel like they need to get paid the same amount as us, and they'll get mad because they feel like we doing the same thing. So why are y'all here and y'all getting paid more than us? And they literally take it out on us, depending on where you working at. The last place I worked at, I didn't really get a lot of backlash, but a lot of other registry nurses did. But I guess just because I'm a people person, but they were really getting mad about that. And I would always tell them, like, literally, you guys can't get mad at us. Get mad at the management. They're the one who contracted us out. We would be a fool to turn that down. I was like, just how we got out here and doing the registry, y'all can do that too. Y'all the one who wanted to take a staffing job. So you can't get mad at us for coming in to help y'all. If we didn't come in to help y'all would be short. But then on the other side, I can't understand what they were saying too, because they'd be like, dang, if y'all got enough to pay the registry this much, why can't we get a raise? But for us, it's like, we just doing our job. We came to help y'all out, do what we came to do. Like, why are y'all mad at us? So that's something that I went through since I've been registry. And it depends on where you working at, if it's bad or not. Because sometimes people can't take it, because I've been places where they'll give us the worst patients and everything. They will make sure that our whole shift
make it hell for you.
Hell. But then I'm so good at what I do. It's like, y'all think y'all was giving me the worst patients? Like, this shit is easy. So it's like, but that's one thing I can say, something like that. And that's everyday life, being a nurse that's a traveling nurse registry.
So that's actually the perfect example. Complaining where it's ineffective. If it's not going to move the needle, everything that you're doing, you're sabotaging your counterpart. What did your counterpart do to you? They didn't do anything to you. So you're angry with the wrong person. Just like people kind of coming for Oprah about certain things, because of course, due to clickbait, a lot of the complaints you have about like food not being there, them having to drive themselves, they're pulling out that part, but they're not pulling out parts where Taraji said, oh, when Oprah found out she had it sent. They're looking at Oprah as the biggest person.
Because on everything I love, I was blaming Oprah in my mind too. Until
we didn't know better.
I didn't know that wasn't her movie. Like, I didn't know that she wasn't. Yeah, I didn't know that wasn't her movie. So I'm like, dang, Oprah doing him like that. But then when I found out, so like you said, it is clickbait, because they'll make it seem like, oh, Oprah doing all the black people like this and all that, but they're not playing the whole thing.
Right. It's something else to make us feel like it's nothing out there for us. We are treated so horrible. These type of things, that's not necessarily true, but these things are not just in celebrity spaces. They're in our everyday life. I shared a story where I was processing a promotion one time, and the training director made $250 a year, and I was about to put through a management position that was reporting to her for $450. I will never forget that in my life. I did not want to put it through. I called to make sure, like, it happens. But here's where it's different. And even in that example, that training director, she didn't say anything. She was like, go ahead and put it through. She happened to be one of my mentors. So I did text her on the side and let her know so it wouldn't hit her in front of these people. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. In front of these people, I'm never going to let them see egg on my sister's face. So since I saw this, I'm my sister's keeper. I'm going to slide her something to make sure she see it before she sees it in front of everybody. Because there's nothing you could do about it. You already there. But guess what? It is something you could do about it. That woman was a VP. Her accolades were amazing, just like a lot of us, right? Your resume looks amazing. But the person that they put in front of you, that's the face, it's not that. Guess what? You have every right to say no and to leave. You want to know what she did? She was like, oh, I don't have a problem. No problem. No problem at all. She spent the next 6 months and set up her own business, and she left. Why don't you leave? Y'all rather stay and complain, make a big deal,
Right.
never say no, never make no chances, never be an example, never be nothing. You just want to stay in that slavery mentality, that complaining mentality. But who made you do that? They didn't
Nobody.
make you do anything.
Yeah,
Um,
another example too, because I was mad. I hated going to work. The job before I started registry, I literally hated going to work. Every time I got to work, I had an attitude. I would have to damn near fight with the CNAs. The patients was verbally abusive. Family members coming up there saying they was gonna file. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I hated coming to work, and then I was like, but what do I do? Do I stay here at a job I literally hate, or do I just take a chance in going out on registry? Because I was really scared. I don't know why.
yeah,
And I remember
because it's different.
yeah, it was just something different. And I remember I put in my 2-week notice, and I was so nervous, like my stomach was hurting. And I was just like, no, Rashonda, you gotta do this. And when I put my 2-week notice in, it was like, why? Nope, I'm not staying here with y'all because I'm not happy. And I put my 2-week notice in. I didn't know where I was gonna work at after that. I was working 2 jobs at that time, but my other job was the registry too. So it's like, whenever they don't need you, you don't have no job. So after I quit that job, I didn't have a full-time job. I was just working the registry. So I literally didn't know what I was going to do, but I just was like, I really want to do traveling nursing. And I did that. And that was like the best thing that I could have did. And I wish I would have did it earlier, but it was me. Like, I just can't stay in this space where I literally hate working. Like, this is something that you have to do every day unless you win a lottery or just make it big. So you need to go somewhere where at least you're happy and or you appreciate it. Like, I'm not gonna be in no place like that where I'm about to catch a case.
So my job before the last one, y'all know I exited HR because I just couldn't take it no more. But I feel like, and I had to go through therapy. I was on Xanax. I was having panic attacks at
That's
work.
crazy.
At least once a week, I was either calling my sister Elise, my mom, my cousin Sonny, or my husband. And I don't mean I was regular crying. I was crying so bad, bro, I couldn't breathe. And the last time was when the lady told me the story about slavery and being illiterate and me not getting another degree, which I will share a whole nother time. But I will never forget, I couldn't breathe. And when I finally got out of that room with her, I just walked straight outside and went to the side of the building. And I was so angry. I was crying and I was screaming at the top of my lungs, explaining what happened to Elise. And I was like, I just can't do this anymore. But I was still so scared to leave a job because it was like, let me just find another job. But the reality is, when at the place that I wouldn't have been able to find another job because I was emotional wreck. Like, I would just cry over the crate. You know what? So it wasn't a good time to interview. And I'm HR, and never in my head did I give myself the advice I give to other people.
Right.
It was crazy. So then I felt horrible. I was like, I can't believe I let these people do this shit to me. But also in my head, I was like, if I leave everybody that I've been protecting as the only Black girl while I've been here, they're going to get to them. I can't leave them. I can't leave them. And it wasn't just the Black girls. It was the Mexican girls too. And I was like, I can't leave them. I can't leave them. To Cat Williams' point, I got to be strong. And it wasn't about humbling yourself and saying this is wrong or saying any of that. It's that you're taking the bullets so you can change. You are thinking of the Rosa Parks, the Martin Luther Kings, the things like that. And you're thinking, if I could change it, I could make it better, I could do this. And it seems like the stronger you get, the harder they come for you. So long story short, they ended up doing layoffs. And I worked from home at that point. That's how bad it got. I reported up to Atlanta. My boss was Black in Atlanta. And one day she came in and she asked me a question I hadn't been asking almost a year. She said, "How are you?" And I fell apart. She closed my door, did my blinds and was like, Asia, what is going on? And I just told her everything. And she was like, what? Why are you still, what are you doing? And turned out to be my sword. And she started making it where I could work from home. But on this day, my spirit told me, they're going to lay me off today. And so instead of working from home, I was like, this is my opportunity to take my strength back. If you're going to do this to me, you're going to do it in my face. So I went in. And when I went in, I wrote little Post-it notes and put them. And this is where you find this where you do that. I did some other things, all legal, but I did some other things. The VP had stolen my work as her own and made it like she didn't need me. Okay, no problem. When they called me in to let me go, they said, unless you want to relocate, we're moving everything to Florida so you can relocate and you can keep your job and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, no, thank you. Well, here's your severance agreement. It's a really good package, blah, blah, blah. I said, I know, I wrote it. Remember? Oh, well, we'll just have you escorted back to your office. I said, you will not. You will never escort me like I'm a criminal. I will
Right.
drop back. We will not upset everybody. I will go in there. I will get my stuff. I will leave your keys. I will come back on Saturday and I will get my stuff. They looked at me like, who is this girl? I had never spoke up for myself. I didn't sign that severance agreement until 6 months later. You're supposed to sign it in 30 days. I made them sweat too. I did. Just because I felt like it. Because how dare you? So since you did that, and I mean, they was calling, begging, all of these things. I say all that to say you may not get your strength back the way you want to, but sometimes God will push you into making that decision. And I could have easily moved to Florida. Again, my position was remote. You didn't really need that. My counterparts are still here reporting up to Florida. They just wanted to do that to me. I could have easily taken it and just went back and forth. I didn't want to. I wanted to show them the slave chains that you think that you have on me because you think I need this money.
Right.
Oh, baby. As soon as I went on medication for that job, I started saving money like crazy because I was like, if they ever decide to let me go or whatever, yeah, I could find another job, but I'm gonna need it. So let me make sure I'm okay. I already started thinking to protect myself. So it's really not too many cases. Even for that mother that says, but I have kids, I can't do it. You can't do it now. You can't do it now. But always make yourself an exit plan from a job. You could find another job. They are out there. I had offers that next week. I chose to stay off for a little bit. I needed to heal some stuff. I mean, look at Q. I will end with that. He does TGIF, the show that we like. Bro, you want to tell the story?
Oh,
Of
yeah.
how it dwindled down?
TGI Fridays we watch. And they used to come on 2 times a week. Then they got so popular. Well, they got their views up so high to where they went to 5 days a week. So once they went to 5 days a week, they had to change their contract. So Q basically said that, giving an example, not verbatim, say if you were making $20 an hour, $20 a show, once they went to the 5 days a week, they started making $17 a show. So he was basically saying, they were saying, yeah, we decrease your pay, but you still getting paid more because you're working 5 days a week instead of 3 days a week, 2 days a week. What was it, 2 or 3?
2.
2 days a week. And so
2, then 3, then 5.
Yeah, and so they would say you still going to make more money doing it 5 days a week. So Q was the only one that signed a 6-month contract. So once the 6-month contract came up, he said he had even forgot about it. And up to the last day, he was trying to negotiate with them to get higher pay for him being there, and they didn't want to budge. So basically, he said now the money he was making in 1 week there, he can make doing a 1.5 videos on his YouTube channel. So why does he need to stay there and make less? So like he was like, they need to pay me my worth, which I honestly believe him. I just hate the way it's going on now, but he brought a lot to the table. Like all of them together was a perfect match. Like their chemistry together was perfect. I don't care who else they bring on there. it's not going to be the same with those three. Like those three together, like they were magic together. And to have Q gone, now it's like a void. Like he brought something to the show, and now he's doing numbers by himself higher than him. So it's like you should have
He ever had.
yeah, you should have just paid this man his worth. Like he knows his worth. So you have to think about that. Like you have to know your worth, even if it's not with a job, just relationships and everything. Like people need to know their worth nowadays. If it's a person that's not treating you right or the way you want to be loved and stuff, leave them. Like it's 2024. Don't nobody got time for that shit.
No. And the best part about that for me is that it's showing two lessons, and you brought up one. I don't like how he's leveraging this to have some type of feud with them,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen anything yet where Claudia did anything.
I
That's
didn't either.
okay. And I believe you made that up to make your shit skyrocket. And that is where you're gonna lose our support. I don't agree with it. And it's not right, but that's my opinion. But I do think that what you should be focused on more is, hey, y'all, look, they just said this about Taraji, and this is what's going on. But look at what I just did. And I actually took the time to focus on myself, because that can happen sometimes. I just talked about me leaving that job because I got laid off. I didn't say I had the strength to leave that job. I didn't, because I loved everything about that job for all these years. And then somebody came in that was dead set on hurting me, because she was a racist. But in the end, the job that I got that I got next was something where I do have to work. I made double the pay, and it's a California-based company that I wanted to be with for a very long time. So it worked out the way that I wanted it to, but that didn't mean I needed to go back and talk about that company. I still love everybody there. It's not the company that did it to me. I actually love that company very much. If I was brave enough to live in Atlanta, that is the company that I would go work for. I've been offered other jobs. I love it. I think that we have a responsibility to keep our things that motivate us to prove them wrong. Let's not be honest. Let's be honest. Let's not do the semantics, to play on words to make it look like something or cause drama. Let's not do that, because we have enough battles to fight, instead of putting a fake battle there so it could look like you did this or did that. Like, this is the year of seeing through all of that bullshit. And a lot of us that's smart anyway and go through it in our everyday lives, stop thinking because you're a celebrity or a millionaire that your shit is any different. I could tell you where every problem you having is identical to one that somebody else is having on every level. We're all exactly the same. It's nothing new under the sun, except them keeping us on a hamster wheel. Sometimes you got to jump off that hamster wheel to see, oh, like you said, if I do this, I could actually make more on my own show, and I could do it however I want. Why didn't I ever put this much energy into my own show?
Right.
And give them their flowers. You learn something. The difference between going to college and not going to college is the same thing. Working for somebody and not working for somebody. Now, he has talked all this time about, what y'all hoes doing? Y'all punching in, y'all doing this. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. But you got this job that requires you to be somewhere at a certain time, and now it made you more disciplined for your own shit.
Right.
It's benefits to these things that you learn by being in college. It's not the education part. You can get that on your own. It's the discipline, the structure, the networking. Look what he did. Now he like, well, shit, I could just literally roll over and come in here at this time. I don't got to show up and say it the way they want me to say it. Now he finna make all this money, and he has made more than he's made on a single video in a long time. And guess what? Lives, you don't have to edit. So he hit that button, you go on and go live, and you done. That's it. It's not easy, but it's easier than editing. Editing is hard, guys. But yeah, if my last words are, take this year to be more responsible for yourselves, more accountable. People can't make you do things unless they have you in a position that is, like those illegal positions. They kidnapped you, they're hostage, like stuff like that. We're talking about the everyday, today stuff. Um, you owe it to yourself to be better for yourself so that you don't find yourself in these humiliating, having to start over all the time, um, being afraid something will get out situations. You owe it to yourself. So make those decisions for you, not for anybody else. And if you need a break, if something isn't fitting, that's the biggest lesson I learned last year, is that there's certain goals that I had that I didn't want to move to the next goal until I was done with that one. And opportunities was coming and I was saying no, when those opportunities, if I actually did those, would have helped me with a couple of other ones, but I couldn't see it. And it wasn't that I was being stubborn, I just couldn't see it. So now that I've learned better, I'm doing better. Don't ever be afraid to course correct. What did we learn when we was little? Who is they? They said, keep that out of your brain and go for what you believe God is leading you to do. You don't have nobody to prove wrong but yourself, not another person that'll hold you back. So that's my final for tonight, because my voice is leaving. What's
Yeah,
your
it
final
is.
thoughts?
I get it. Well, you basically said everything that I literally would say. Like I said before, people have to believe in themselves and just take a leap out on faith, even if you don't. How will you know if you can't do it? If you can do it, if you never even try to do it, like if you don't just step out on faith to do it. So, like I said, even if it's not a job, even if it's a relationship, friendships, and everything, like you got to do what's best for you nowadays. You can't go off of what other people are telling you to do and everything. You got to do what's best for you and know your self-worth. Like everybody needs to know their self-worth. Even if you have to have friends to talk it into you or something, just you got to know your self-worth. Think of
And
yourself.
your priorities.
Yeah. Like you got to think like ain't nobody better than you for this. Whatever it is, ain't nobody better than you. Or I'm better than this. I'm better than this. It's somebody
That's
that
my
would
best
be
bet.
better than this. Like you have to think like that for yourself.
That's a really good one. I'm not better than you guys. I'm better than this situation. It's nothing
Yes, I'm
wrong with
better
that.
than this. I'm better than this.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. I think he was saying Black Power, our cousin. Okay, so that is it from us tonight. Please make sure that you like the video on the way out and subscribe. And tomorrow, where can we find you, Rose?
You guys can find me tomorrow at 8 o'clock on Talk to Rose on my YouTube channel.
And we'll probably be discussing in a little more detail some of the same things we discussed today. And then we'll be back here on Thursday night to talk some shit with the fellas and do how we do. So that is it from us tonight. Have a good night.
Good night.